everyone, welcome back to my channel Ielts Groomers by Urvishi Chopra. I hope you all are very good. Today we will be discussing about writing task 1, which is our line graph. To attempt your task 1 in an exam, you'll be given 20 minutes in which you need to prepare, plan and plot everything that what you're gonna write. And many students often make a mistake of attempting task 2 first and they attempt task 1 later on. That's a choice definitely, but I would recommend to do the task 1. Reason behind that is your mind is really fresh. You are able to understand all those statistical information which is given in your task. And in task 2, you just need to generate the ideas and write down the points for that. But for task 1, you need to have a proper analysis structure. Each question in task 1 will have 2 parts. One will be the question prompt and the other one will talk about selecting and reporting the main key features about the data. So in this question also, the question states 2 statements. The first is the question prompt and the other one is the reporting of the key features in the question itself. Here you can see the question prompt is, the graph below shows the number of tourists visiting a particular Caribbean island between 2010 and 2017. And the summarizing part is, summarizes the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Even if you are not able to understand any word, just not freak out like I'm going to fail, or don't just get panic. You don't actually need to know what Caribbean means to achieve 9 band for this question. More deeply into the task, you have the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis talks about the number of the years and the y-axis talks about the millions of the visitors. So you need to be aware while you're writing the units, because many students, they forget to mention the units. When we begin our task 1, we start writing with the introduction. So in introduction, there are basically 3 aspects which are very important. These 3 aspects are the questions: what, when and where. I don't know, but I used to follow this kind of strategy to write my introduction, and it gives me a complete full-fledged introduction. What means what is the question talking about, when states for the time period, and where states for the place which is already been given in the question. You just need to write down the same years and the same place which is already mentioned, and that will make your complete introduction. But the only thing is you need to rephrase it in your own words. That's how the introduction looks like with all those 3 aspects which I mentioned earlier. Step 2 defines the overall. Here overall means whatever you are thinking about the data, whatever you are concluding that something is going at sharp rise or something is declining. So what's the data is speaking out, you need to analyze and write it in your overall. You need to mention what is the maximum or the minimum along with the year. Students often forget which year they are talking about, and examiner won't give you any marks for not mentioning which year you are talking about. So you need to be very particular while writing your overall. Like I have mentioned, over the course of the 7-year duration, the figures relating to the number of visitors on the island showed a steady increase. This trend was manifested by an impressive 3-fold hike in the count of those who opted to stay on the island, as well as remarkable 4-fold surge in the number of visitors who embarked on cruise ship. So here I have highlighted all the main aspects. So your step 3 talks about the body paragraphs. Don't confuse yourself between the overall and the body paragraph. Overall just defines the crux, but the body paragraph defines the detailed information about the task. Here you can mention each and every detail that what you have understood from the task so far. It is very important to add variations while writing your writing task 1. So what it means that The task 1 simply defines the ups and downs, but how you write them, adding the variations, adding the vocabulary words, how you write those increases and decreases which is mentioned in the body paragraph with some complexity, that's how you're gonna score higher bands. Let's read. Looking into the data, the number of total arrivals followed mostly an upward trend over the whole period. It started from 1 million tourists in 2010, which steadily grew to roughly 2.7 million in 2015. It began to rise substantially again after hitting a plateau for a year and eventually reached a total of 3.5 million arrivals in 2017. So here I have mentioned everything with the year. Also add another body paragraph. The volume of tourists welcome abroad cruise ship was at 0.2 million in 2010, fluctuating over the next 2 years until rising sharply to 2 million in 2017. However, there were only about 0.8 million tourists who chose to spend their holidays in the island in 2010, and that number only increased to 1.5 million over the next 3 years. Instead of experiencing a slight fall in 2016, this value remained stable till the end of the considered period. So if you really understood the task, hit the like button. Don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you.